We're live. We're live, damn it. Thanks for watching Numbskull News Live, the live version. It's been an emotional week with, I don't know. Is there a lot going on? A little bit, CFP crap going out the ass. Brett Yormark losing his mind. Yeah, there's been a lot. There's been quite a bit. So, however, let me start off topic as usual before I get into everything else. So, Marvel, I was looking forward to seeing the Fantastic Four. I'm not sure. I think it comes out this month. And I took a gander at the Silver Surfer. Why does the Silver Surfer have female anatomy? Because she's female. Now, maybe y'all aren't really into all that, Marvel stuff, whatever. Let me say this real quick. It's like the oldest superhero group as far as Marvel Comics is concerned. First family of Marvel and all that. And the Silver Surfer is the Herald of Galactus. In other words, been empowered by Galactus to go out and find planets to eat because he's a real big sumbitch with a big appetite. Okay. It's the big baddie. The Silver Surfer, the name, his regular name is Norman Rad. Why is Norman Rad with boobies? Because it's not Norman Rad. Of course, they say, look, there was a female Silver Surfer in the comics. Yeah, like 2 years ago. Norman Rad's been around since the 60s. Why can't we get that? When is Marvel going to listen to their audience? They did a great job for like 10 years. And now it's just every time you turn around, it's BS. Give us the classic characters. If you want another woman in the Marvel Universe, there's a ton of characters to choose from. All right, we hear that they're going to do some kind of X-Men stuff, and I hope they don't screw that up. It's only my favorite shit ever. Plenty of women in that. You got Jean Grey, you got Storm, you got Jubilee, you got I'm missing a big one too. The one that like she touches somebody and damn near kills them every time. I can't think of her name. Not off the top of my head. Anyway, there's plenty of great, powerful women in there. You don't have to gender swap people. It gets old. It gets old. Okay. That little rant needs to be put out of the way real quick. Mr. Monkey says, yes, sir, you are first, and I appreciate you being here. Now let me get to some of these future video announcements. I was going to come out with a video this morning. I was going to make it last night, edit it, have it ready to go for this morning. But I've been meaning, I got off work early, and I've been meaning to do my early power rankings for the Big 12. And this is went extreme for me. I usually don't go that deep. Just to give you some monicum of examples here. I spent a better part of 4 hours yesterday just on my power rankings. Now, in the video, when I put it out, you'll see how crazy. But anyway, to do my power rankings, I've used an assortment of stuff. ESPN, the FPI list they just came out with, I've used that in it. I've used the portal rankings from 24/7 Sports. I've used recruiting rankings From Rivals, I've used Athlon's list of top Big 12 coaches, and Sports Illustrated did a list of best QBs in the Big 12. So I've used all of that, plus strength of schedule, plus non-conference, to then vomit out my power rankings before, months before the season, but I think it's whatever. 4 hours yesterday devising a plan and putting all this stuff in there to get these power rankings. I swear, if like 100 people watch that shit, I don't know. I'm going to burn this notebook is what I'm going to do. Spending 4 hours on something that no one gives a shit about is going to really suck. But I put the time in. Whoever watches it, I appreciate it as always. Something I wanted to do. Rye Guy, thank you for being here, sir. Appreciate you. Good evening to you as well. I'm also going to do the rise of the Big 12, kind of give you the background, the story, kind of where we're headed, possibly, maybe. Several different outcomes. Video still coming together, but that's coming. And the video I put off that didn't come out this morning, didn't mess with it. Hopefully I can get it out for tomorrow morning. It's has to do with that secret phone call, that clandestine phone call between the Big 12, the ACC schools, some of those schools, and Smash Capital. It's going to be a little of that. A little of that. And the main reason it's going to be a little bit of that Smash Capital isn't getting involved to just put together a new 16-team conference. It's not what they're interested in. That's one thing. Second thing, the top 16 teams of the ACC and the Big 12, as currently constructed, it has to involve Florida State, Clemson, and Miami. All three prime candidates for the Big 10 and the SEC. If you look what happened to the Pac, they couldn't get a media rights deal because Oregon and Washington would not sign on the dotted line. No. They weren't. They were always going to go to the Big 10. They would not commit long term. Do you think Florida State, Clemson, or Miami are going to commit long term to some new 16 league conference thing? No. Thus, your media rights deal you can hope to get with that takes a crap. That's what happens. And look, I get it. The Pac was offered the Big 12 deal. Yes, they were all. You don't think there were any caveats with that with ESPN? Like, hey, Oregon and Washington need to be part of this. They got to commit, and then we'll unask the money. That wasn't going to happen. And plus, they were overshooting their price because they had no representation worth a damn in the Pac. They just didn't know how to do business. That's the problem. Mile High, thank you for being here, sir. Big 12 Best Conference. Well, it's my favorite conference. It's the one I give a damn about. Rye Guy, the thing was Oregon and Washington did not want to join the Big 12. No, not. And they, by the way, they weren't going to join the Big 12 when there's an option for the Big 10. I'm a realist. I love the Big 12. But no, would Oregon and Washington, if there was no Big 10, because I made a lot of videos about this when all this crap was going on. Would Oregon and Washington have jumped to the Big 12 if they could not get anything beyond an Apple deal? You bet your ass they would have jumped to the Big 12. ESPN was willing to give them a big, huge, fat freaking bonus. All right. They gave Colorado a bonus, and Colorado jumped. Colorado jumped before Oregon and Washington made the deal with the Big Ten. I believe it was like a week before, maybe 2, somewhere in there. But they were the first domino. You always hear about these dominoes and they have to fall certain ways. No, they don't. Sometimes they fall in strange ways. Colorado wasn't the biggest domino out of the pack at that time. It was Oregon and Washington. But Colorado had to fall first. Colorado had to fall first for that, all that to go. Anyway, this new fangled 16 Big 12 ACC biggest brands won't happen. You can't get enough commitments for it to work. And you think they're going to get, even if they could get that, you think it would make what the SEC or the Big Ten do. No, it won't. The reason Texas and OU left the Big 12, they talked to ESPN. They already knew what ESPN, what they were going to pay the SEC before it was made public. They knew that. This has been reported here locally anyway. They knew that shit. So when they approached ESPN, like, hey, what can the Big 12 get? They didn't like the news they were given, because it wasn't going to match the SEC. Wasn't going to be close enough. And that's when the wheels started turning for Texas and OU to leave. And that's what kicked off all this new era of realignment. That's what kicked it off, because they knew they couldn't make what the SEC teams were going to make. Period. Parabellum, thank you for being here, sir. Norvell failed this year after they gave him the tools to be successful. He will not be there after the year. I guess if you're saying if Florida State sucks nuts, then they're gone, or he's gone if they're bad again. If 2-10, it'd be hard to keep them around for if they don't make a bowl game, it'll be hard to keep them around. I kind of see where you're coming from there. You say a lot. You say the kind of the same thing with Joey McGuire this year. All the money they spent, if he doesn't at least get to the Big 12 conference title game, there's going to be a problem. There's going to be one hell of a hot seat. And I say they just need to hit eject and find another coach. If McGuire can't put it together this year, you got to go. That's too much underperforming from Lubbock if he can't get it done. And I think that's fair. That should totally fair to Texas Tech fans. Hey, expectations are super high. McGuire has to do it. Norvell, kind of in the same boat, man. 2-10. With Florida State, who went 13-0. What the hell? I know they lost. Look, SEC fans love to talk about how Florida State lost their ass in the bowl game. The bowl game, it didn't freaking matter. The bowl game where, most of Florida State's roster wasn't playing anyway. I don't give a shit about any of that. Florida State fans don't either, and you shouldn't. What's up, Skullheads? Big Lubbock. Appreciate you being here, sir. Mile High. Pac-12, us coming back to life. It is a little bit. They still got to find that damn 8th freaking team. Texas State. Stop screwing around with UNLV. UNLV is not worth it. If they don't want to go, screw them. Let them stay in the Mountain West. Go get Texas State. Get into Texas. Texas State. It's in between Austin, San Antonio, not that far away from Houston, not that far away from DFW, right there in the Texas Triangle. It's a great spot. Great spot. Excuse me. He is coming back. I got you. Right, guy. If you guys think Utah is bad, imagine having brands like Oregon and Washington. It wouldn't have been fun for you guys. There could have been some of course, because they're like, oh, we are Big Ten. We're screw this yeah, there would have been a lot of that crap. Yeah, absolutely. But unlike Utah, Oregon, and Washington actually have pretty damn big ratings. I mean, Utah has a good ratings draw. Not as good as Oregon and Washington. Not the brand level of Oregon and Washington. Not the success of Oregon and Washington. Utah has never played for a national title that I'm aware of in this century. All right. I know people can go back, in their way back machines, to 1930 or 1905 or some shit. I'm talking in this century. The last 25 years, Utah has not played for a national title. So slow your roll. Oregon has played for a few. Washington has played for a national title recently. Slow your roll, Utah fans. Mile High. Oklahoma and Texas left the Big 12 last year. Yeah, but that was announced years before that. Like 2022? At least 2021, 22, somewhere in there. Parabellum. FSU is going to the Big Ten. Fox is demanding it. They very well might be demanding it. Yeah, I think that's underreported with the Big Ten media partners want. They want more premium matchups. And you're not getting that with Virginia. You're not going to get that with UNC. Florida State, Clemson, Miami. Outside of Notre Dame, that's the only teams left that can give you premium football matchups. No one else can. Much as I love Louisville, no. Georgia Tech is on the rise, but no. I'm sorry, they don't have the brand value of those three. They just don't. The ratings are keep getting better. They're in Atlanta. It's a great market. No. Mile High. Bill Belichick to UNC was a good move this offseason. It was a move. It was a move for ratings. I don't believe it was a move for football. Not at all. It was for ratings. And Bill Belichick, that dude shits more football than I'll ever know. I know that. I'm not an idiot. NFL. That's what he is through and through. NFL. Since the 80s. This dude coached Lawrence Taylor, LT. That's how long Bill Belichick has been in the game in the NFL. Since like the early 80s. Never coached a day in his life in college football. I know it's going more towards pro kind of, but it's still far from the pro leagues. It just is. What do I think UNC is going to be next year, record-wise? I'll be surprised if they make a bowl game. I don't give a damn what talent they have. I'll be surprised if they make a bowl game. Been in. Long live the Big 12. Yes, sir. Rye Guy 1218. And another obvious thing going for Tech is no OU, no Texas for the foreseeable future. Yeah, I think we've had our fill with them too for a while. All apologies to Longhorn and Sooners fans. But you need to understand, you went to where you wanted to go for the money and you love it, whatever. The rest of us are like, oh, this is nice. Look at all this elbow room there is in here all of a sudden. Right, guy, yeah, but does Texas State have that big of an alumni base? At this point, it doesn't matter, right, guy. What are your options? What are your options? You got Boise State, you got Fresno State, you got San Diego State, you got Colorado State. Those are the four. As far as on the West Coast, those are the biggest G5s you can get. You threw in what was it? Utah State. So now you need one more. UNLV. They don't want Nevada. Nevada would probably do it in a minute, but they don't want them. I don't blame them. Would Hawaii do it? Probably, but do you want that travel? You don't. You don't. No one gives two shits about Hawaii. I'm sorry. Rainbow Warriors, no one cares. I mean, let's. I'm tired of placating people. If no one gives a flying shit, could they go get Akron tomorrow? Yeah, but does anyone give two shits about Akron? No. No. Kent State? No. So, if you're going to get into Texas, and look, the American teams ain't going to leave. They're not going to leave right now. And I don't blame them. You're looking at a full-on ACC implosion in the future. If I'm an ACC team, boy, in Texas too, I'm going to hold on. I'm going to hold on. Now, one caveat. If I'm the University of North Texas, UNT, the Mean Green, they're in Denton, Texas, north of Dallas, Fort Worth. Just north of Dallas. Still part of the Metroplex, but kind of like the upper triangle in the middle there. I'm giving the Pac thing a really serious consideration. Now, the only reason why it could kind of suck, because if you think about it, Tulsa's not bad travel for them. UTSA is not bad travel. Trying to think of who else is in there. Tulane is not horrible travel. Memphis, not that bad. You know, I understand with being in the American. I guess you got where does Navy play? I want to say that's East Coast. Army, definitely East Coast. So you got some East Coast stuff out there. Of course, SMU's right there. Well, SMU's gone. What the hell am I thinking? You know what I'm saying? The travel, joining the Pac, all of a sudden you're going to San Diego, you're going to Fresno, you're going to California, you're going to Oregon, you're going to Washington. The travel gets a little bit stupid for a small school. So I kind of understand that whole thing. But if I were them, I would seriously consider it. But yeah, Texas State should be a lock if it ain't. Mile High, South Dakota State is too underrated. They need to be in a better conference. Yeah, but they got to be willing to pay that money. For whatever reason, they never have. They never have. I mean, Liberty's done pretty damn well. I would think San Diego State and hell, North Dakota State could probably do pretty damn well. So, but maybe they just rather be FCS and rule that shit. I don't know. Parabellum, FSU was playing third string in a couple of walk-ons against Georgia starters. There you go. I was pretty damn sure it was something like that. Let's see here. Right, guy. It's just hilarious seeing Utah talking hot. Yeah. It's like, at least give a better year. at least did they make a bowl game? The alternative hypothesis. This is a smart dude. Okie State draws really big numbers. They do. They do. Right guy, Utah beat Alabama one time, I guess. We really got Michael Vick coaching college before GTA 6 came out. Hey, come on. Michael Vick's a good guy. I hope. Florida State isn't getting into the Big Ten because of AAU. There's workarounds. There's workarounds. Georgia Tech will still be in UGA's shadow. Well, maybe, but they're doing good. Let's give credit where credit's due. Imagine if Lawrence Taylor was head coach of USC. He would be doing coke in the locker room. Oh, I don't know. Is he still doing coke? What is he, 65, 70? I mean, he's at least in his 60s. I don't know. Maybe. I remember the Texas Rangers manager busted doing coke. He was in his 60s, so I don't know. Mile High. Deion Sanders made college football watchable again. You don't care what anyone says. Well, especially in Colorado. Broncos haven't been that great neither. So, yeah. You think Travis Hunter is a bust? No. That guy's going to be making some serious cash when he gets out of his rookie deal. That dude. I don't know if there's been a bigger guarantee of a hit than Travis Hunter in the last 5-6 years. Right guy. Hawaii would just be a vacation game for new Pac schools. True. Mostly for the fans. Kenny Evans, are you going to do game predictions for the Big 12? I don't know, but like I said before, I'm working on power rankings using a lot of information. Annapolis, Maryland, so East Coast. Yeah, of course, Annapolis. Who would you like to see from the ACC join the Big 12? Kenny Evans, Louisville, Georgia Tech, Duke, UNC. Again, I don't think UNC is getting into the big ranks. What's up, Bo Weevil? Appreciate you being here, sir. Clemson will not be in the Big 12. I would like them in the Big 12. I think they fit, but I think they're going to the SEC. What's your record prediction for Colorado? Mile High. I actually think they're a little better than what they're going to end up being better than people think. I'll give you. I'll tell you what. I'm not going to give you a record prediction. I'm going to say at least 8 wins. How's that? Yeah, let me back off. At least 7 wins. At least 7. I think 7 is their floor. And speaking of 7, I'm going to give you a little preview here of my power rankings. I got them 7th in the power rankings. I'm surprised Lawrence Taylor has lived this long. That he's probably surprised too. Right. Bo Weevil, AAU is reality. In reality, is just a social club. Yeah. Yeah, in certain respects, yeah. They do make a lot of money there, Bo Weevil. But yeah. Right guy, I know Bo, but the Big Ten take this very seriously. They do. But, you got to work with those media partners. Great show. Keep up the great work. Love your show, sir. I appreciate you, Kenny Evans. Appreciate the comments. Mile High. People don't know their football. A lot of people don't. I mean, I'm no great expert. I can't list off the, the 22 starters of the 1980 Army team. I can't do that shit. I can't tell you, like right now, who played 30 years ago for a national title. Not off the top of my head, I can't. Navy is probably fine with the Americans. Same with Army. Yeah, I don't think they're going anywhere. Parabellum, Nebraska don't have AAU certification, and they are in the Big Ten. Well, they did have it when they joined, to be fair. And then it was revoked shortly after. All right. I'll get to the rest. I'll try to get to the rest of y'all's comments here in a little bit, but we got to get to the main reason for this damn thing. The Big Two, Big Ten, SEC. Can they save college football? Do they give a damn about saving college football? No, but can they inadvertently save us from Brett Yormark and Jim Phillips, a dumbass, when it comes to the CFP? Maybe. It seems like the Big Ten is a little bit dug in on this 4-4-2-2 format. And thank God, please dig in. And another thing, I hope the SEC is dug in with 8 games. 8 conference games. I hope they're like, screw you, we ain't got to do 9. We ain't got to do 9. Not here in the SEC. We do just fine with 8. Because 8 is the 8 hardest games any damn freaking conference ever plays, ever. Forever. I'll swear on the Bible. That's what we're dealing with there. But that's good for the Big 12, despite Brett Yormark and the ADs and the presidents all wanting a 5-11 model that sucks. What, last 2-3 years? 16-team playoff, 5-11. Big 12 gets 1 team in. That will be most years. 1 team in. Why? Because you don't play for your spot. You don't earn it on the field. Despite what Brett Yormark is trying to sell you, you do not earn it on the freaking field. It's a committee, and they pick who they want in there. Keep in mind, it's a committee that said Florida State goes undefeated in the ACC, win the ACC conference title, and they say, oh, you know what, boo-hoo, you got a backup quarterback, we're not putting you in. We're putting some one-loss teams in over you. Over you. You're going to trust that shit? This is what I don't like about people's opinion. Well, Florida State, there's a big disadvantage for Florida State. Did I not see? My God, who was it? My brain is not going to work on this. I want to say it was Ohio State that won a title with a backup quarterback. Like, the dude got hurt before the damn championship game, or the game leading up, whatever circumstance. But I want to say it was Ohio State that won with a backup. The 14 playoff era, by the way. But they got put in. They weren't going to leave Ohio State out. Look, I understand. People want to do the 5-11. We don't want nothing given to us. I want shit given to me. Give it to me. Yeah. Yeah, that's how you earn it on the field. Take it out of the committee's hands. Your conference record and play-ins. You play into the CFP. And yes, the damn regular season will count a shit ton because only a small amount of teams at the top will have the right to play to get into the CFP. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Versus a committee that changes yearly. I know what you're saying. Oh, wait a minute, buddy. Baylor's AD is going to be the chair of the committee. Great. It was Michigan's AD last year. Whose AD is going to be the chair of the committee next year? Don't know. Because last time I checked in 2025, it ain't a 16-team playoff. It ain't a 5-11. So, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? The Big 12, where they're at, they need maximum exposure. I want to be in a spot where we are guaranteed 2 playoff spots every year. Once Iowa State lost to Arizona State, they were out. Once BYU failed to get into the Big 12 conference title with a 10-2 record, they were an afterthought. They would not have gotten into a 16-team playoff. They would have earned the right to be there. Iowa State would have earned the right to be there, but they would have not been a consideration. Not over Alabama at 9-3, sucking it up against Oklahoma and Vanderbilt. They would not have gotten in over South Carolina. They would not have gotten in over Ole Miss. They would have not have gotten in over Miami. At that point, it becomes, oh, I have heard of that team more. Oh, that's a bigger brand. Probably has a bigger viewership draw. We'll put them in. I'm just trying to tell you. 5-11. I mean, that hurts them. It ain't death. It ain't death. It ain't that bad. But it hurts the Big 12. Your mark, the ADs, stop thinking this shit is equal, like you got an equal shot with the SEC or the Big 10. You don't. You don't. So, I'm counting on 2 things here. I'm counting on the Big 10 being a big hard ass, understanding that they don't have the depth that the SEC does. How many times can they get 7 or 8 teams into the college football playoff? It'll be very rare for the Big 10. 4, 5, all day long. But above that, no. The SEC can regularly get 6. In a 5-11 model, book it. Book it 6 every year. On good years, 7. Badass years, 8. No shit. That's what the SEC will be doing. That's why the Big 10 doesn't want it. But I'm also betting. I am betting because we don't know what the presidents and the ADs of the SEC really want. I'm betting on the greed. Hear this out. Here's the greed. 4 automatic qualifiers every year, regardless of what happens. Plus, you have shot at large bids, so you can get more. A lot of years they would get more. But these play-in games, keep in mind, the SEC makes a shit ton of money off the SEC championship game. They don't have to share that with anybody. That's their revenue. Now imagine adding a couple of play-in games with that. It's like adding a couple more conference title games. They're going to be big-ass draws and make a lot of money. You work with the Big 10 Do that scheduling agreement with 4 automatic qualifiers like you give a shit. Just collect the money. It's like free money. Oh, we got to play a Big Ten team. It's not going to be Ohio State every year. It's not going to be Penn State every year. It's not going to be Michigan every year. Plenty of years for, like, Alabama or Georgia to be playing Purdue, Northwestern, Maryland, Rutgers. Rutgers was pretty good, but you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. It's not going to be that bad. And it's a free paycheck. Easy money. So I'm betting on SEC greed to go against the 5-11. To say, you know what, Big Ten? Screw Phillips. Screw your mark. Let's go ahead and lock this down. Let's lock this down. Let's do our play-ins. Screw the committee. Because remember, the committee, they only put 3 SEC teams in this year. Why should the SEC trust this committee either? The Big Ten doesn't trust them. You shouldn't trust them. So I'm counting on the greed to win out. And as a byproduct of that greed, it'll actually help the Big 12. It'll save the Big 12 from themselves. Sad, but true. Now, back to your regularly scheduled comments. We got a few backed up. Where'd I leave off? Rye guy, Colorado, I see a bit of regression due to losing Hunter and Shador. Careful. They got they got a nice quarterback coming in. They've been building their offensive and defensive lines over the last couple of years. That stuff's going to get better. Is it going to losing Hunter? Of course hurts. Losing Shador, but the guy they got coming in, he's a hell of a runner. I know he's playing quarterback. He's not as good of a thrower of the ball as Shador, but maybe he won't eat as many sacks. We're talking 15, 20 yard sacks. Hopefully not. And Shador's brother, can't remember his name, cornerback. It'll be good to maybe you get a better player there. So I still think Colorado is going to be pretty damn good. I don't think they're going to compete for the Big 12 conference title this year. I think it's a little too stacked for them this year. But I think they're going to be better than a lot of people think they're going to be. Kenny Evans, what do you think of Rich Rod coming back to West Virginia? Go Mountaineers. Everybody's in love with it. I mean, the people that I talk to and the people that I talk to, like YouTubers that I know that cover West Virginia, and there's a few, they're all really excited to have Rich Rod back. And Rich Rod has a pretty damn nice record in college football. No, not so much, there's a reason he's back. But, he's doing pretty good with the portal. So, it's a rebuilding year. So I think he'll actually turn things around in West Virginia. I do. I think if Rich Rod is smart, he got his second shot there. He shouldn't have left in the first damn place. But he did. A lot of people make those mistakes. I understand. You get a huge program come after you. He gets to come back home. Long haul, end your career there. I think he can do some nice things there. John Dry, hey, y'all, what's up? Les Austin Jr., what's up, man? I like your passion, numbskull, and channel, but your conference football is average at best. As comparison to what? Because, look, I want good teams, have a lot of fun. Every year, I want to be able to go into a Big 12 season and really not know what the hell's going to happen. Right now, there's 8 to 10 teams that have a legitimate shot at getting to the Big 12 conference title game. And there's a couple that can surprise you. There's a couple out there, if things break right, can surprise you. Incredible depth. And like I said, you just don't know. You can't say that for the SEC. I know it's going to be some of these bigger brands. I know Alabama's going to be in the mix. I know Georgia. I know Texas. A lot of people think LSU. A lot of people think Florida's on the way back up. Tennessee, I think they're coming down. Ole Miss, Missouri's still good, but we know the top 3 or 4 teams there that are going to be in it to the end. You don't really know that with the Big 12. We all assume it's Kansas State. We all assume Arizona State is set up for them. It's set up for them. But Baylor can pull some shit. TCU, hard as hell schedule. But they got a legit quarterback, probably one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He has a shot to be the best quarterback in the league. Josh Hoover. You got that, and you got the right coach, you could do a lot of damage. So to me, that's a little bit more than average to me. Oh, that's just me. I didn't mean no one specifically. Sorry. I got you. Navy Army would be good fits for ACC. I can see that, but I don't think they're going to. I mean, it's not inconceivable that they move around. So who knows? 5'11" is the best, Mr. Weevil. I understand where you're coming from. With Clemson nowadays, I mean, maybe they're starting to use the portal a little more. But for the Big 12, it sucks, Mr. Weevil. It just does. Mile High. I want Air Force to stay in the Mountain West. Screw the ACC. Chances are they will. Rye Guy. Oh, God, do these smooth brains in the SEC know that there are teams like Kentucky, Mississippi State, Auburn, and even Vandy? I mean, Auburn won a title, in the not so distant past. Would it help the Big 12? Would it help the Big 12 to divisions? No. I'm not a divisions guy. I don't like that. I mean, that's just a preference, but I think with their media partners, they want that schedule to be more fluid, if you will. Rye Guy. Look, I acknowledge the Big Ten had one of the worst teams I've ever seen in Purdue, plus Northwestern Maryland and Rutgers. Yeah, but Rutgers, Rutgers went bad. Wasn't that bad? I hate Texas teams Mile High. Well, it's because all the damn titles we got here. All these damn titles. Look at the Cowboys. Trophy case full. We ain't won jack in 30 years, but it's still full. A little dusty, but full. Right guy. Yes, they did, and it came against my Ducks. Ducky Ducks. Editor title, Big has no eye. Ah, shit. You're right. Well, that's what I get. There we go. Good call. Good call, you bastard. There. Now it has an eye. Florida State earned the spot. They did that. They did last year. Well, year before last now. Last year they earned every chuckle, every laugh, every joke last year. Sorry, Florida State fans, but you know it's true. Colorado State is in the Pac 13 next year. Pac 13. Pac 8. Parabellum. Under Bowden in the 80s, FSU was independent. And there's a possibility they may go back to being independent and make a separate deal with Fox. I'm not buying any part of that, Parabellum. Because here's the thing. Even though the buyouts for the ACC is a lot cheaper, why, even now, or it was like $160-something million, it goes down by what, 15 every year, 20, 30. It's like 20, it's like a 75 million. Why would you pay 75 million just to go independent? 75 million in the hole to just go independent? Come on. They ain't doing that. Mile High, Pac-12. All right. Pac-7 to be specific. Well, they are still Pac-7 now. Till they finally just, okay, Texas State, come on. Are you really missing that much with the UNLV? It's Las Vegas. Every airline in the world goes to Las Vegas. Every one of them. You don't need a team there. Mile High, I thought it was 8, LOL. Well, not yet. No, they don't have the 8th member. No. Outlaw of college football. Dun, dun, dun. The bad guy, the villain of YouTube. Go back to the BCS formula and mix the AP poll and coaches poll for the human element. It's the fairest way to get the best 12, 14, or 16. You want the best way to do it? Point system. Point system. I do a whole series of videos every year using a point system that I developed. Simple as shit. Simple as shit. Takes into account everything. That's the fairest way. That's the best way. BCS can kiss my ass on their fake ass formula. Simple point system. AP poll sucks more than the committee. So does the coaches poll. These jackholes. The coaches poll is the worst poll of all the polls. You can saddle my poll. You can ride my poll with the coaches poll. The coaches poll sucks. Sucks big time. Bo Weevil, the Big 12 is a good conference. They just need schools to step up to the plate and invest in football. And they are. Tech is investing heavily. TCU is investing heavily. Oklahoma State's been investing pretty heavily for a while. BYU getting in there. Even Utah spending a little money. Cheap ass Utah is spending some money. So it's happening there, Bo Weevil. Parabellum, I think very highly of Brett Yormark. I wish FSU would consider the Big 12. I hear you. I think they would if the money was right, but with FSU, and I understand where they're coming from. I totally understand where they're coming from. When you're looking at your peers, and yes, Georgia is a peer of FSU. Penn State's a peer. You know, Michigan and Michigan State, those are peers. Florida is a peer. So when they look at what they're making versus what they're making now and what their peers make, I get that. So, and look, the Big 12 ain't never going to do. They're just not going to do unequal revenue sharing. We've been there. We've done it. Thank you, Texas. Thank you, Longhorn Network. We've been there. We're not going back to that. John Dry, hopefully Tech can beat the Lady Horns. F the SEC. Well, I do like the sentiment there, John Dry. Right, guy. Big Ten has 3 guaranteed teams. Those are Ohio State, Oregon, and Penn State. In next year's, I buy Penn State. You're probably right with Ohio State. Even when they lose guys, they just next. I get it. Oregon, we'll see where they are with quarterback. Quarterback makes a big difference. Makes a big difference. Ask Ohio State. They actually had a reasonable quarterback last year. Won a title. When you have someone who shits the bed, you shit the bed most of the time. Man. Alabama, for instance, guy wasn't really ready for that level, yet he still went to the NFL. Mile High, Big 12 is only for the Western states. Western states only, bro. West Virginia, Cincinnati, UCF, Iowa State. It's not very Western. Iowa State's borderline. That's more in the middle, eastern middle. John Dry in a couple days. I hear you. Right, guy. Maybe a team like Michigan can get in, but I'll be honest, Michigan isn't what they were with Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh is a hell of a coach. Like him, love him, hate his damn stupid mom jeans he wears all the time. Hell of a coach. Been arguing for the Cowboys to pick him up for years. Always bet on greed. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. By the way, sorry, to Masta, I hope you're right. And thank you for being here, sir. But yeah, I hope we can bet on the greed of the SEC and the greed of the Big Ten to get that 4-4. And what I really want is the 4-4-3-2-1-2. It's a mouthful. Where the Big Ten and the ACC, their third teams every year play for that third spot. So I'm talking about, damn it, Mile High. Never bet Las Vegas wins all the time. Yeah, pretty much. I put always bet on black. If you're talking about the ticker down here, it's a old Wesley Snipes line. What is that? Passenger 57, 56? Passenger something. Somewhere in there. Kenny Evans, do you ever see SEC and Big Ten ever kick out lower teams? Vandy, Northwestern, Purdue? No. I know. And I get asked that a lot. A lot of people think that's a great idea. The thing is, those conferences have been around for a long time. Vanderbilt's been a part of the SEC for a very long time. Purdue, Northwestern, those are kind of like some of the founding members of the Big Ten. They're not going anywhere. Plus, they're monster academic brands. And you know how the Big Ten is with academics. They just slather themselves with it like a porn star and a really whatever slippery stuff they use besides spit. That's gross. Modern porn. You're spitting all over people. I don't know how that's a turn on. It's freaking whatever. Anyway, I know I don't see that ever happening. Les Austin Jr. Why guy don't speak on shit you don't know. No. Les Austin. Les Austin Jr. You must be a Michigan fan. I don't know, but be careful there, Les Austin. I heard Rye guy knows Taekwondo. Outlaw college football. If they go to 16 teams, the conference title game will need to go away. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't, Outlaw. Come on. Why would you get away from something that makes money? You still got to crown an SEC champion. You just don't give it to somebody. Your number one and your number two teams will play for the conference title. Now, they'll already be into the CFP, but then you have a couple of play-in games after that for the right to join those two in the CFP. And why not have another play-in where the number 5 SEC team and the number 5 Big Ten team go at it for one of those at-large spots instead of The most and the most we can hope for is to lessen and lessen and lessen the reliance on the damn committee. That's how I see it there, Outlaw. Arturo Balderas. Texas Tech may save the Big 12. They have money, donors that are already making an investment in other sports. Softball just made the Women's College World Series. They paid $1.5 million for a softball player. Yeah, that's when you got plenty of money, is when you're paying a college softball player. God bless her, $1.5 million richer. I won't say they're saving the Big 12, but they sure are making it fun. They are making it fun. Killer Breeze, the man. And man, I almost had to travel down south to get into a fight with Killer Breeze. Does SEC have the right to be greedy? Of course, everybody has the right to be greedy there, Killer Breeze. Everybody does. But I'm counting on the SEC's greed to save me in the Big 12 from your Mark's dumb shit with the CFP. That's my whole thing. But yeah, the SEC has the right to be greedy. The Big 12 has the right to be greedy. We all have the right to be greedy. It'd be good if not everybody was greedy at the same time all the time, but that's a different story. Kevin Hampton, what's up, dude? Pac-12 does have 8 members. Gonzaga does have football. Yeah, but they're not. It's Gonzaga with basketball and the other sports, not football. And 8 football members is needed to be considered an official conference. It has to be 8 full members with all your sports. Gonzaga does not count because their football will not be in the new Pac-12. Mr. Hampton. Of course, I'm happy to be wrong. That would be an easy fix if they just said, okay, Gonzaga, you're playing football with us. Arturo Balderas, how much more will they invest on a better football team? Oh, they're investing a lot. While you can, because once these new rules, revenue share rules come into play, then all that money, it's gone. You got 20 mil, make that work. Make it work. Les Austin Jr., why do people pump up Texas Tech? I don't get it. Well, for one, they have a cool logo, cool mascot. Throwing the tortillas on the field, that's cool. That's a Texas kind of thing. West Texas, kind of hardy, sturdy kind of country. See no country for old men. The old coach, the old legendary Mike Leach was a freaking legend, and people, fell in love with him. So, but here lately, they've been recruiting at a super high level, and of course, they've bought damn near every player in the portal worth a damn. So that's why. When you get that kind of talent, great power comes great responsibility. You better win some games, Mr. McGuire. Killer Breeze, the conference championship sucks. Well, yeah, but it makes money. It gets a lot of eyeballs. The SEC, they like having those eyeballs. They like making money. That kind of works for both things. Mile High, I'm glad my state has all pro sports teams. Well, I mean, Mile High, Colorado is not a pro sports team. Or are you saying you're glad your state has them all? Well, yeah, Colorado, Avalanche, Denver Broncos, Rockies. You probably have a soccer thing, Denver Nuggets, for what it's worth, because the NBA sucks nuts. John Dry, let's go, Texas Tech. Somewhat. Right guy. Shiloh. Yeah, Shiloh Sanders. That's who I was taking a shit on. If they can do better than Shiloh at the corner, that'll be good. That'll help a lot. Killer Breeze Najari was a jackass and gave the game away. Big Ten got 4 in, and the SEC only 3. So, who really got the preferential treatment? Not the SEC. Alabama has missed 2 of 3 of the last playoffs. So, hush with the winning Alabama bias. There is none. Whining Alabama bias. I mean, the SEC, they whine, overall as a conference. But, I can't sit there and tell you Big Ten doesn't whine. I can't tell you the Big 12 doesn't whine or the ACC doesn't whine. Everybody whines. Did Alabama deserve to get in over SMU? Probably not. Do they deserve to get in over Miami if there was an opportunity? Probably not. It's hard to fit a fourth SEC team in with the format. Now, if you were at 16 teams last year, Alabama is in. If it's the 4-4-2-2-2, whatever, 4-4-3-2, whatever, Alabama assuredly is the fourth team. But yeah, I mean, Alabama does, they're whining a little. They're whining a little. It's fair to say that. I don't think they had much to whine about for last year. Don't fall to Oklahoma like you did, or Vanderbilt, and they're a sure in. It's getting late, and my English is failing. Mile High, Colorado Rockies, best team in Colorado. Still might be a little bold statement there. Mile High, Nebraska is the team I hate playing the most. I get that. A little overrated themselves, Nebraska. Overrated coach. I love college football. Long term, the Big 12 better hook their wagon to BYU and UCF. UCF, people say what they want. They're coming up. Dude, do you think Cincinnati's going to be down forever? And look, Houston has been saving the Big 12's ass in basketball for the last couple of years. Houston, for real in basketball. Love that addition to the Big 12. But, oh yeah, BYU and the Big 12 already super tight. I know UCF loves being in the Big 12. We will eventually love them. And at the same time, when you're fans of other teams, you're going to hate them because they are going to be good. It's going to happen. I don't know if Scott Frost can sprinkle his magic fairy dust on it or not, but we'll see. Right, guy. I was talking about Auburn right now. Maybe you're arguing with somebody. I don't know. Interesting. California Texans are far more. Some of them are quite lovely, sir. Parabellum, I agree with you. Texas A&M will leave the SEC sooner than later. I think that if I'm the Big Ten, I'm under the radar. I'm climbing through that proverbial pipe of shit from the Shawshank Redemption. I'm doing everything I can to say, yo, hey, A&M. Come on. I got to play the hate card. Do you want to stay there with Texas? Ew. Come on. SEC fans, they think that's just, that's ridiculous. No one would ever leave the SEC. No one would ever leave the SEC. Well, A&M has a place to go if they want to go. And A&M is not super loyal to the SEC. Don't think for 2 seconds. They are super loyal to you because you're the SEC. They don't care. If they have that much hate and animosity towards Texas, and I think they do, they just might call the Big Ten them freaking selves. They may have already done so. We'll see what happens. But I'm just saying 2029, 2030, look the F out, because it doesn't take that much to get out of the SEC grant of rights. It ain't like it was in the ACC. It ain't like it is in the Big 12, because the SEC doesn't have to do all that shit. Everyone's making so much damn money. It's like, if you want to leave, there's the door. I'm the Big 12. Oh, I'm sorry. If I'm the Big 10 and I want to kick him in the nuts, that's where I'm going. Kevin Hampton, the SEC is great, because it and the media says it's great. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy with more teams in tournament, etc. Here's where I do take exception. Look, I'm no SEC fan, but that is one hell of a deep conference. It really is. As far as just sure talent and talented teams, the amount of teams they have that can legitimately win a title any given year, that's the depth I'm talking about. And I'm talking about winning a title in a 12, 14, 16 team CFP playoff format. That's what I'm talking about. They have the most teams that can actually do that any given year. And here's the thing. As a Texan, I know from here all the way to Florida and Georgia and every place in between, south of that Mason-Dixon line, boy, football is just a whole nother thing. It's a whole nother religion. It's a whole nother people. This region loves football. It's number one. I know it's number one in the whole country, but it's just different in the South. It's just different in Texas. It's just different in Louisiana, in Mississippi, in Alabama, in Tennessee, in Georgia. It's just different in Florida. That's why the recruiting is insane in all those states. That's why this support is insane. We look at what was going on in the old pack with all the big brands still intact, and we're like, where's y'all's fans? Because we're like, it's football. What are you doing? We couldn't understand it. Can't understand it. And people who are not from this area, Texas to Florida, points in between, you just don't understand. I understand why the SEC is who they are. And it's a tradition as far as football goes. Other places, it's, New York, that's a basketball town. It's a Yankee town. Things like that. But not down here. Mile High, I think college football is rigged. I don't think it's rigged, but I do think it's weighted. That makes any sense. I know you're like, oh, it's weighted dice. It's rigged. Cinderella does have a ticket to the ball, but she doesn't have till midnight. I'll say it that. Put it that way. It's not rigged. It's not rigged, but there's a lot of inequitability, if that's a word. But yeah, if you want to find a rigged sport these days, NBA all day. Don't waste 1 second of time watching that bullshit, because it's all rigged. It's all fake. Kenny Evans, for Big 12 teams to go up, we have to beat SEC and Big 10 teams when we play them, like West Virginia, Penn State, etc. It helps. To me, it helps to beat them when it matters. Does the first game of the season, is it that big a deal? Not really. TCU beating Michigan in the playoffs, That's a big deal. Oh, come on. It's not even a conversation there, Rye guy. What the hell? All right, we've been on the air for a while. This is longer than I usually go. Look at all these damn comments. All these damn comments. Outlaw college football. Your simple point system sucks, donkey dung. Well, no, it doesn't. And it works. As a matter of fact, my point system pretty much every year shows that the SEC is actually really good. It's not just propaganda perpetrated by the ESPN, but my point system shows that, yeah, they actually do have a lot of ranked teams. So if it sucks, then the SEC sucks. Oregon State isn't really a peer of Oregon. No, they never have been. They've been in the same state. Used to be in the same conference. Yeah. 12, 18. Most programs aren't really peers of Oregon when it comes to money. Oregon isn't as rich as you think. I mean, when you look at some of the Texas school, Texas A&M, Texas, this oil money's real, and it's way more than shoe money. Even though it's Nike, it's more. Trust me. Trust. Oregon should still go 11-1. They could. I don't know what their schedule looks like, but they very well. Two monster. You got a bull corn system. Yeah. The BCS. Thank God that was done, because when we had the BCS, yeah, I didn't watch any college football because no, I hated that shit. That was bull. I watched one game. I watched Texas versus USC. That was it. In the Rose Bowl. When the cheating coach, the USC coach, who then went to Seattle. He was like who was it? Running backs, White, that big, huge dude. I think his name was White. And Reggie Bush. Running right down Texas's throat, middle of the field. In the game, all they needed was a first down. They couldn't get it. And I got that coach's face. His face is right there in my head. It just won't. His name won't pop in there. Y'all know who I'm talking about. USC coach, who then went to Seattle, won a title, got to a second title, or second Super Bowl, back-to-back years. Second one, instead of running the ball with Marshawn Lynch, he decided to throw the ball, interception, right? Everyone knows the story. Everyone blames him. Oh, he just wanted his quarterback to get all the love. No. People keep forgetting that USC Texas game where he ran like 4 consecutive times where those running backs were killing Texas the whole game and couldn't get one freaking yard out. It's not because Texas was good against the run. They weren't good against the run the whole damn game, but they knew it was coming and they sold out and they were able to stop it. That's why he didn't run Marshawn Lynch, because he knew. He knew that Bill Belichick knew he was going to run the ball, and he would have a defense designed to keep him from getting the yardage he needed. Then you get time off the clock, and then you're down a yard. You don't have any timeouts. You got to spike the ball to stop the clock. So now there goes a whole nother down. That's why you don't run the ball. That's why you don't run the ball. Maybe there was a timeout. I can't remember. So some things get fuzzy. But I understand why that coach said, I can't remember his name. I understand why he made the decision. And people are like, I don't know why. It's a mystery. Just a couple years before that in a national championship game is the whole that should tell you the whole reason why he didn't run Marshawn. Fuck. Right guy, Iowa is Midwest. It's in the middle of the country. They call it Midwest. It's mid. Nothing against Iowa, but it's in the middle. You're right. My mistake. I forgot Iowa was in our conference. Iowa State, yeah. In UFC. BCS, but with AI. Oh, Arturo Balderas. Your worst comment in the history of my channel. We don't need Skynet running. Florida Panthers going to overtime. Yes, the conference title game will go away. I don't believe you. There you go. It's a Diddy Oil comment, Outlaw. Diddy all. I like the new college football playoffs picture. Doesn't Texas specifically have oil money? They do. I think they do now. I know they got rich people who got oil money to invest. So that's good. You're a Cowboys fan? Yeah. Come on. I'm a Big 12 fan in Fort Worth, Texas. Of course I'm a Cowboys fan. Damn it. The real America's team right here. Right guy. Gonzaga doesn't even have football. Someone told me they had football. Now someone else saying they don't have football. All I know is they don't play any kind. If they do have football, no one's ever heard of it. Outlaw college football, the conference title will go away. It's a hindrance, and if it goes to 16, it will be too many games. You can declare the regular season winner the champ, just like they do in divisions in the NFL. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but it won't go away, Outlaw. It's too much money. Outlaw. You don't think the SEC cares about money? We got so much money. We don't need that. I don't get that feeling from old, Sankey Sink. Texas Tech is definitely a blue-collar school. That is fair to say. Yes. Shiloh didn't get drafted. Pissed me off. That doesn't surprise me, Mile High. I don't think much of Shiloh. I just don't think he wasn't a good corner in college. That's why he didn't get drafted. So if he's lucky and works really hard, maybe a practice squad for that guy. Maybe a special teams call up eventually. All right, I'm about to end this thing. Thank you, Rye Guy. Pete freaking Carroll. Son of a biatch. Thank you too, Okie Light. Appreciate you. You are forgiven, Mr. Monkey says. The alternative hypothesis, the playoff was originally about figuring who's number one, not who's number 5. Expanding the field to better pick number 1 resulted in teams arguing about who's a playoff team. Here's the thing. The ultimate thing. Once you get the 12, 14, 16 team playoffs, anyone who's bitching who didn't make it can kiss my Randy ass. Kiss my ass. If you can't convince somebody that you a top 12, top 14, top 16 team, then go away. Don't go away mad. Just go away. Great point. So by the time you get to that, I mean, 4, you can piss and moan. I mean, I understand pissing and moaning about 4. Don't piss and moan about, oh, we weren't the 12th team. We should have been the 12th team. Really? Okay, bitch. That's all. You're just a straight bitch. That's what I think. Don't know who that hater is, but I feel bad for him. Mr. Monkey says Skynet is AI version of Greg Sankey. Maybe. Cowboys name good says J.R. Ewing was running Ewing Oil. Okay, buddy. That shit went on in 1995. It went on. You got your whole time shit. That was in the 80s. Dallas was over in the 80s, sir. Kevin Hampton, Oregon reportedly spent the most NIL money on football this past year with $969 freaking million. It's a lot. It's time to name a conference champ when half the conference doesn't play each other. It's crazy to name them. Agreed. Pete Carroll, thank you to Masta. Shiloh was a safety. Okay, well, Shiloh sucks is all I'm saying. I wouldn't want him on my team. Okie Light, speaking of money, I think ESPN is going to make SEC play 9 conference games. They can't make them do jack shit. First of all, they got to pay them. They weren't willing to do that before. But they can't make them play, 9 conference games. They can't. Mile High, Cowboys need to shut their blinds so they can see the ball. That's been a lot of controversy, and unfortunately, we got a hard-headed as hell owner that thinks, hey, that's a good thing for us. Really? Why is it our guys that keep losing the ball in the light? And it should. It's the sun directly in your freaking eyeballs, burning out your corneas. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. No one will feel bad for a 4-loss SEC or Big Ten team staying home. No one will feel bad for a 3-loss one either. Almighty Finn, you forgot the 1997 Dallas, the return of J.R. Ewing. It was a TV special. Almighty Finn, with all due respect, all the 4-letter words. That's all I'm saying. No way Oregon spent $969 million. That's like $10 million a player. You got to be careful. You got who originally put that up? Because I just kind of skimmed over it. Who had that number? Who did it? Who had the 969, damn near $1 billion in 1 year comment? Who was it? Who was it? I'm scrolling through. I'm trying to find it. Trying to find it. Was it Rye Guy? I don't see it. I don't see it. Still ain't seeing it. Damn it. I didn't erase the comment. I can't find that shit. Damn. That sucks. I don't know who said it. Don't know who said it. Don't know who said 969 million. Appreciate you, Almighty Finn. All right. I gave you guys an hour and a half of my life. That's 30 more minutes than I would usually give to anybody, including my wife. So, without further ado, I appreciate y'all being here. I'll be back. I'll be back live. I'll be somewhere with videos at some time. The Two Master ratted you out, Kevin Hampton. Where'd you get $969 million? Yeah, I think that includes facilities and stuff like that. There. I fixed it. But yeah, their facilities. Kevin Hampton. That's what you get. That's what you get for that. That's what you get for that. Anyway, thanks for watching this crap, guys. Kevin Hampton, you're welcome back here anytime. Peace out.